Howdy there, partner. Time to do a good old-fashioned spoiler review of X from director Ty West and production studio A24. Let's get into her.
What's your favorite scary movie? Hey, man.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the Dancing now.
Oh, Lord on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Now, just a fair warning before I get into X, there are a lot of big spoilers about this film that I definitely do not want to spoil for anybody. You have to see this film before I get into a spoiler review of it. Trust me, it might be a slasher flick, but oh my, is it so much more than that. So if you have not seen the film yet, please check out my spoiler-free review, which you can check out right up here, or up here, I guess, is where the card will be. So getting into some spoilers here, and you know what, a few more things. I'm going to shamelessly plug some of the other stuff I got going on right now. I am currently running a Kickstarter account for a Scream fan film from the perspective of the killers. If you liked X and you want to see more movies like that, you are going to really like Red Right Hand, because it's from the perspective of the killers, baby. You're going to see some really messed up stuff from their perspective. Some of the psychological trauma they have to go through. Some of the really messed up kills you get to see all from their perspective this time around. Make this movie happen. Get our Kickstarter to $5,000. We're nearly there, everybody. So link for that is in the description below. Make sure to check it out. And subscribe, of course, if you have not subscribed. So getting into this spoiler review of X, the first place I want to start is the exposition, which is so wonderfully well crafted. The writing in this movie is fantastic. Ty West just did a phenomenal job setting up a lot of things at the very beginning of the movie that come back to haunt and literally bite some of our characters in the third act. Some of my favorite things, of course, is the alligator mural at the very beginning of the movie on the back of the strip club. We see Brittany Snow's character walk out of there at first, and well, what happens to her later on in the film? An alligator eats her. So that is awesome. I mean, so foreboding, so perfectly well done and well crafted. I love when movies set up things at the very beginning, like little tiny details that really don't mean much, but then come back in some kind of crazy and perfectly decided way. I don't know. That's really well done. I love visual cues like that. Another thing is the whole Maxine's character keeps saying to herself in the mirror, "I won't accept a life I don't deserve." I think I'm paraphrasing there, or that might actually be the exact line, but it sets up this twist at the ending where we learned that Maxine's character is actually the daughter of this crazy preacher on the television that's been running like throughout the entire movie. It kind of just seems like at first, okay, this is just kind of like a thing that they're throwing in there because it's like, okay, this is a movie that deals with horror flicks, with porno, with old people getting older and like how they view the younger generation. So you're kind of thinking, okay, that's what it's leaning towards, but no, it's so much more purposeful than that, which I think is great. It's really well done. I mean, wow, I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. And it leans into a sequel that Ty West has already expressed interest in, and if you already don't know, a prequel film has already been shot and is currently in post-production, apparently coming out later this year. And like I said, Ty West is actually interested in making this whole thing a trilogy, possibly doing a sequel that follows Maxine's character. I mean, who else would it follow? Everybody died at the end of this film. I said this was a spoiler review, so I gave you an option to out at one point, and if you didn't opt to leave, then I'm sorry. I already gave you the warning. So another thing I really liked about this film, probably the thing that I liked the most, is this tone and how different generations of characters feel about sexual intercourse. I mean, look, I know this is a YouTube video. We're supposed to be kid-friendly here, but this is what the movie is all about, so kind of would be weird if I didn't talk about this. The biggest thing I really liked about this film was Pearl's motivation as a killer. It's just so real, and you really feel bad for her character. I've expressed how much I love villains that have a real-life thing that they're trying to deal with and either fix about their real life or the entire world, and they just go about it in a very chaotic and wrongful way that makes them a villain. They don't see themselves as a villain. I hate when you go back and like when you have a villain in a new movie that's like a Batman villain where they're like, "Ooh, I'm evil. I'm lemon-scented evil. I just go about doing bad things to people." Like, that's just so unrealistic and unbelievable to me. I really like that the killers in this movie have a motivation that's very realistic and totally kind of understandable, and you can like sympathize with it depending depending on like how old you are. It's just really unfortunate and sad. I mean, there's a scene where Pearl is like dancing in this dress, and I had tears in my eyes. I was so sad. This movie makes you feel so many different emotions. One moment you're laughing about this juvenile porn joke, and then the next you have tears in your eyes during that cover of Landslide, and the scene with Pearl trying to like have sex with her husband, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't think he can. That's just a real life struggle that's really upsetting and sad. I've been in relationships where, I mean, obviously I haven't been in like some kind of situation like that before, but you can relate it to things where it's like the things aren't just working out with the person you're with. And that's something I felt personally. It was like, wow, they do just such a great job of representing that. Like I said, I teared up multiple times during this movie. It's a slasher flick, and I have tears streaming down my face. It's like, oh my God. But the way that they did this movie was phenomenal, really well set up. I also really like that you get to learn a little more about Pearl's backstory, which this prequel is probably going to explore a little more, but I really liked that she talked about how like her husband was in multiple wars and like she didn't really have a whole lot of time to have fun with him. Like not just sex. It's like I didn't get to go out and party when I was young. I was at home waiting for him to come back, and you really feel that from her character. You feel that regrets of waiting for somebody, and you see it represented in how the younger generation does things differently. Like you get that line from Mia Goth's character where she's like, "Oh, you think we don't have morals? No, it's just like, look, you get to choose who you love, but you don't get to choose who you're attracted to." And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I do understand where they're coming from, and I like it's definitely characters in the late 70s would feel this way, or like the 60s as well. Same kind of vibe. And I really like that we got that represented in these characters. It's very 70s, not just in tone, style, whatever, but just how the characters react to certain situations. I love it. I don't know. It's, oh God, Ty West just blows my mind with this movie, man. Holy Jesus. The kills were another thing I want to talk about. For the most part, all phenomenal. Literally the only thing I didn't love was that Kid Cudi's character. He's a really good character, and his death is off screen from a gunshot, which in a slasher flick, yeah, is frowned upon. But considering what his character was, an ex-Marine, it's understandable that he would be put down this way. It's like, I don't think he could get overpowered by an old woman, so this is the only route they could go with it. So it's kind of a forced situation, and I think it makes sense. If it would have happened any other way, I probably would be complaining about, well, oh, the guy's an ex-Marine. How did he not take down this old woman? It's understandable. The whole thing, I think, makes sense. But yeah, it's still a gun kill in a horror movie. Like, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that because this movie is truly a masterpiece, I think, and that's purposeful. It's a purposeful thing they had to do with this movie, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Not a big deal. My favorite kill, of course, was the alligator. From the setup at like 30-40 minutes into the movie of Mia Goth's character, Maxine, she's swimming in this pond, which, mind you, I would literally never dip a toe in that disgusting water. Oh my God. Not just because of alligators, because of maybe the diseases just lurking in that water. I don't know. No way would I go swimming in that water. No way in hell you're getting me in there. That overhead shot where you see her swimming back slowly to the dock and you see the alligator coming behind her. I mean, one of the most tense scenes in cinema I have seen recently. Wow. I mean, that blew my mind. And the setup for that alligator kill. I just love when you have a horror movie with multiple antagonists like this. The alligator wasn't even really a big part of the movie, but it was set up so well and didn't detract from the main story. Oh my God. I mean, fuck, this movie was good. Oh, Jesus. And the way they kill Brittany Snow's character with the alligator, just really well done. Like I was saying, the mural at the strip club, it all comes full circle with that. So well done. Oh, God. I mean, just wonderful. And also Pearl's death at the very end, running over her with the truck. Wow. I mean, we've seen that kind of kill a million times in movies, but it's really just visceral and well done here with an explosion of blood and gore, which is shown like almost also another thing foreboding and foreshadowed from the beginning with the cow getting hit by the truck at the very beginning. So once again, the exposition, the setup is phenomenally, masterfully done in this movie. That's undeniable, I think. I gotta move past this because this review is gonna be like 30 minutes long if I keep talking about little tiny things I liked about the film. But the characters were all unanimously great, served a very big purpose for this film, and were just overall well written. Mia Goth, for example, has a dual role here, which I don't even think I realized that she was going to be playing both Pearl and Maxine before this movie, but that shocked me when I saw that in the credits. And seeing it a second time this morning, I really was thinking about that the entire time, about how she has a dual role, how she's playing this character and that character that are wildly different people that made different decisions with their life or their current life and how it's going. Mia Goth deserves an Oscar for this performance. I'm going to be honest. I'll put it up there with some of the other amazing A24 horror movie performances like Toni Collette in Hereditary. I mean, it's up there with that. Fight me. I think it's that good. That it blew my mind. The other characters are all fantastic and have every person has a standout performance or line or some kind of moment in this movie that makes it like, wow, I'm so glad they cast this person to be in the movie. Especially Brittany Snow and Kid Cudi. Their whole relationship is hilarious to me. I love how they interact with each other and the other people in the group. Very funny. And Jenna Ortega, of course, is phenomenal. Everybody's phenomenal. Why am I putting a magnifying glass on just a few people? Everyone in this movie has some kind of standout performance, especially when we get that line about, I can't say this in a YouTube video, but the hard penis joke. I probably can't even say that in a YouTube video, but screw it. We're sticking with it. Another thing to wrap this review up, because like I said, I could go on for another 30 minutes about how much I love this film. This movie, the most important thing about it is it has that X factor that they talk about in this movie. It's a theme throughout. And there's little moments in movies like this that have that special factor to them, that have this stardom. They were meant for stardom. They were meant to be something great. This movie has all of that. And we see it in little moments where, like, for example, the landslide cover. I mean, a moment ago, you were making me laugh with some, like I was saying, with some kind of juvenile sex joke. And it's hilarious. You're cracking up. But then they do this scene where you have Kid Cudi playing this cover of Landslide, and Brittany Snow's character is singing over it. And I mean, my God, I had once again, tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, I love these characters so much. I'm so sad that they're literally about to die. This is the turning point. This is going to be the turning point in the movie where it changes from like the exposition, the expository kind of scenes like that, and moves into the true, what we've been waiting for, you know, like the kills, the slasher aspect of this film. And you feel that in that moment. Wow. I mean, watching it twice, I've had goosebumps all over my body watching it both times. Really just an amazing and super, super powerful scene. I love Ty West, and I remember talking about his films beforehand and saying like, oh, they're good. They're slow burns. They have like really interesting character development has always been a strong suit of his, but in this movie especially, everything is well done. It's not just a good slow burn. It has moments throughout that keep you interested throughout all the exposition, and then with a ridiculously explosive climax of a finish. Yeah, and I know this is a movie about porn, so there you go. I'm recycling that joke for my spoiler-free review. I don't care. I do what I want. It's my page. But Ty West really impressed me with this movie. I love all of his films. They're good movies, but this was the first one that I was like, wow, that is something special. That is going to change the way we view horror moving forward. And honest to God, X is my favorite horror movie of the 2020s so far. I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, no, that 100% my favorite movie of the 2020s so far. I am blown away by X, 11 out of 10 film. It might be one of my favorite horror films of all time. If you have not seen this and I just spoiled everything for you, there is still more things about the film that honest to God, I just couldn't get to because I'm going on 14 minutes right now. Go see X. See it in the theaters. This is a movie that needs to be seen on the big screen. You can watch it at home for sure, but I highly could not recommend this more. You will be missing out on a massive part of horror history if you do not go see this thing in the theaters. Go see it. Spend your money on this damn thing. Go to an early bird special if you're worried about spending money. It's $6 or whatever to go see it in the theaters. And if it's not in your local theater, which I've already had people comment about who live in different countries, I'm truly sorry. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't distribute this more across different countries. I really don't know why. It's a masterpiece of a film. I have barely any problems with it. Go see X and see it on digital if you can't see it in your country in the theaters right now. Just watch this damn movie. This is going to be a big part of horror history. I feel like this is the same feeling I had when I came out of Hereditary back in 2018. I knew that was going to be a special horror flick, and we're still talking about it today. So see X if you can. Highly recommend. I'm just going to keep talking about it. If I don't stop, I'm just gonna keep blabbering on about how much I love this movie. So what did you guys think about X? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching my spoiler review of X from 2022, baby. What my favorite horror movie of the 2020s so far. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new here. I will be doing updates and reviews on all the upcoming biggest horror movies that come out, and maybe I might even dress up a little special for them again sometime in the future. So make sure to subscribe, do that, like this video. Also, if you can support the Kickstarter campaign for our Scream fan film, the link for that will be in the description below. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.